Hi, in this video you'll learn about the math class. Recall from a previous lesson that class methods are methods that belong to the class itself and can be called without creating an instance object of the class. For example, in this calculator class, the addNumbers method is a class method as defined by the static keyword in its signature. That means another class, like this CalcRunner class, could use it right away with the class and method name. For example, calculator.addNumbers. This feature is very useful because it means you can access loads of pre-built class methods from popular classes, like those in the Java Standard Library. Remember all of these? Here are two main packages in the library, java.lang and java.util, and some of the classes in them. In this lesson, you're going to learn more about the math class, which is a class that is always available in your programs by default. Java's math class contains built-in methods and constants for performing basic math functions, like finding maximum values, square roots, and powers, without needing to write the code yourself. These methods are all class methods, so you can use them without creating a math object. Note that the class is available by default and therefore doesn't need to be imported. Here are a few of the methods from the math class that will be helpful as you continue coding more complex programs. Notice the familiar structure you use to call these methods. Math is the class name, and the other name is the method name. Let's take a look at the first method, math.abs. Math.abs returns the absolute value of the input value. The method definition is overloaded in order to accept and return an integer or a double, as shown here. The next method is the pow, or power method. Math.pow returns the value of the first argument raised to the power of the second argument. Note, the input and return values are always doubles. This method allows you to easily create programs with exponential values. In this example, math.pow 2, 3 is equivalent to 2 to the third power. This example is simple enough to do manually, like 2 times 2 times 2. But imagine if you want to raise 2 to the 8th power. Then all of a sudden, the pow method makes much more sense. The third method is math.squareRoot. Math.squareRoot returns the positive square root of a double value. Even though it always takes in a double and returns a double, you can actually still use an integer as the input value. This is because Java automatically converts the integer to a double in a case like this. Finally, let's look at math.random. Math.random returns a random double value greater than or equal to 0.0 and less than 1.0. It does not take any parameters. In the code shown here, rand will be a different value every time the code is run. For example, it could be this, or this, or this, or any decimal value from 0.0 up to 0.9 repeating. So when and why would you need to use random numbers in a Java program? Well, random numbers are used in lots of places in programming. They can be used in games like rolling dice, flipping coins, determining the value of treasures, and more. They can also be used in simulations to mimic the randomness in real life, or for security systems like in creating secure keys in cryptography to make data secure to send and receive. You can use random numbers anywhere you need some level of unpredictability. While generating random decimal values can be very useful, more often than not you'll need random numbers within different ranges. For example, if you are rolling a dice in a game, you'll need a random integer between 1 and 6 inclusive. This still can be done with the math.random method, but it will take some manipulation. Let's walk through how to do this. Imagine you want to generate a random integer between 0 and 9 inclusive. Here's a calculation that will accomplish this task, so let's break it down. The first step is to generate a decimal between 0 and 0.99. For this example, let's say the value is the one shown here. The next step is to multiply that decimal value by 10, moving the first decimal value into the ones digit. Finally, the number is cast to an int, which drops the remaining decimal values from the number, leaving you with a positive integer between 0 and 9 inclusive, and in this case, 5. You can repeat this process as many times as you like and generate as many random numbers between 0 and 9 as you want. Here is the general formula for producing a random integer in any range, which is what the previous example used as well. The num values is the number of values included in your range, while the offset is the starting point for the range. Let's see this in action while creating a random integer between 10 and 20 inclusive. The number of values in this case is 11, since there are 11 numbers between 10 and 20 when you include both 10 and 20. The offset value is 10 because the starting number in the range is 10. Now when you run this code, math.random generates a decimal value between 0 and 0.99. Multiplied by the number of values in the range, cast to an int, adds the offset, and voila, a random number between 10 and 20. Now it's your turn to use the math class in your own programs.